the Director of IEM, UEM, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, the President of the institution, again Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, my esteemed colleagues, Hare Krishna Pai and Jaspreet Singh, the bright and young IPS officers. I can say Shri Sanjay Chatterjee, the President of NASCOM, and we have Professor Dr. Arun Kumar Baur, the Principal of IEM. I can see Professor Praveer Kumar Das with us over here. All the young and brilliant minds in front of us. Indeed, it's a privilege, it's an honor, it's a happy moment for us to be here. When I'm talking about us, I'm talking about me and my colleagues who are here, to be here in this esteemed institution amongst all of you, to witness this beautiful event. We in our service, in police service, we do get an opportunity to go and interact with a lot of bright minds, see a lot of multifarious activities on different forums. They might be sports, cultural events, educational events. INNOVACION, if I'm not wrong, if I'm pronouncing it right, is a new and a very beautiful event which we have seen. It reminds me of the movie Three Idiots. When I go back to it, Professor Chakravarti asked me this question, are you an engineer? I said, no, I'm a chartered accountant. So with this background, I think you should know from where I'm talking about this whole thing. But I have been informed that this is about both technology and management. There are a lot of events which are associated with it. When we were walking in, I just stopped at 2-3 points to see the young children, what they have done. So there was one very interesting boy who was standing there, and he had a software which could convert my facial features into a kind of a specific, I'll say an adjective which he will attach to me, and then he will initiate a conversation based upon this artificial intelligence model. So the first thing he caught from I told him to take my snapshot, and the adjective that it showed was fear, and I was like, okay, policeman and fear, that are like two dichotomous adjectives. It's good to see how we are progressing in an area which is a challenge anywhere in the world. I'm sure all of you must have heard about Facebook Meta, the virtual reality portal. So one of the biggest challenges right now in that is the embedding of the emotions in the virtual reality. Virtual reality is way ahead right now, but to bring emotions in the characters, in the avatars which are there, is one of the biggest challenges. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you must have also witnessed that event where the Meta suddenly started losing its share value because they had promised this thing to come up, but they could not. But still they are working on this. Anyways, to start with this thing, innovation and evolution, we as human beings have evolved over billions of years, and this innovation and evolution has always walked hand in hand for us. If we go back to a period where some 2 million years back, Homo habilis invented rudimentary stone-based tools, to now, when we are sitting in the age of artificial intelligence, we are sitting in the age of chat GPT, we are sitting in the age of virtual reality, where innovation is in the forefront. We have come a long way. I'll go to a very small example. I was having a conversation with Jaspreet, I think a few days back. We were in book fair. So there was a very interesting question which was posed to me that do you think that reading books or the digital availability of the books, which one is better? How should we go about it? Now, when you go back to the whole growth of us, some of the phenomenal inventions which happened, which has brought humanity to the fore today and has put us to the task on this particular trajectory of growth was, I believe, invention of compass and maybe printing and paper, because the age of Renaissance and the inventions, the age of growth, whether it was in engineering, whether it was in science, in the field of medicine, could not have been more propagated unless we had paper and printing in our hand and we could have spread this knowledge across to everybody. Otherwise, if I invented something and my information was restricted only to the core group I know, then that does not does not spread to all the people around the globe. So I belong to that 2005 batch of civil services, maybe where we were more into reading books all the time, and how he's 2016 batch, and in this period of almost 10 to 11 years, how the reading shifted more from books to, iPads and all the reading portals on mobile phones and computers and all that. Because in my age, in my time, even looking at a digital screen for very long was a kind of no. Or even, availability of phones and technology was a very big thing. It was not there. I remember when I passed my first chartered accountancy intermediate examination, my family gifted me a very rudimentary small Nokia phone. And look at where we are. We used to watch movies in those days with people making video calls, somebody handling a very expensive high-end video phone in a movie and trying to make a video call. And in our days, Doordarshan would come up with serials like Indradhanush and all that, where these technology things were there. And in no time, in a period of hardly, I'll say 2 decades, we are here standing at the cusp of technology, at the cusp of evolution, where almost everything is right now around us, and we are still growing. We are still growing very fast. I agree with Professor Chakravarti. We as humans have been set apart from all the species on this planet for the only reason that we have the brains. This particular 1.5 kilograms of average grey matter on your head. This is what is defining you. This is what is separating you from all the species on this planet. And that is from where, this is a gift to us, from where we can come up with all the innovations, we can come up with new thoughts, we can come up with great things. It is not that you need to be an engineer only to invent. You need to have an observation, you need to have a desire, you need to have a passion. Please go back in history and see some of the great inventions. I was in my medical examination a few days back. We have this annual medical examination, and I was just seeing that electrocardiogram or sonography or any kind of testing facility, this entire technology around us has come up over a period of time in various fields, and some of the great brains have done great things to bring us to this particular place. But what they all had, that was passion to grow, passion to find something new, passion to do, and of course the willingness to fail. So they were ready to fail, to go ahead and do things in a new way. This particular this particular growth in technology, when we say it sets us apart at various stages. So if you look at the so-called first world countries, second world countries and third world countries, the basic difference or the fundamental difference, I generally hesitate in using these words, these are terms from economics. I always say that countries at different stages of growth. So the basic difference you'll find in the people of the place will be innovation and enterprise. So if you look at a country like America with almost so many innovations coming out, so many technologies coming out, they are leading from the front. In just now the president had mentioned that you can hardly think of anything which was invented from our country, or we are he's an engineer, is better placed to tell about this, so I will not go into that field. But this is the difference where we are. You people, anybody remembers when was the first lander on the moon in the world? Who was when did it come up? Anybody remembers that? When was the first human shuttle? Sorry, the first human on the moon. When did he go? 1969. That was which country? US. And when did India made the first attempt to even touch the moon? Chandrayaan-2, 2019, 50 years. That's how far we are. We have to work very hard. We are a big country with an endowed growth, with very good education system, with very bright minds. Some of the leading minds in the world sphere who are leading some of the best companies in the world, technologies companies in the world, who are in the forefront of evolution. But when it comes to our own soil, we are lacking somewhere. So we all have to work very hard. As the president mentioned, with a patriotism, with our own feeling for the country. And more importantly, sir, I would like to add over here that for any growth, any kind of innovation, any kind of furtherance in the human mind, in the human technology, we also need one very important thing, is a value system. We should not lose our value system. We should not lose stray of the path of growth which we have thought. I'm sure all of you must have heard about the Great Manhattan Project. Anybody can tell me what was the Manhattan Project? No volunteers. Yes, Robert Oppenheimer. He was behind this Manhattan Project when the first atom bomb was discovered. But again, we lacked the value system that was used against humans in the Second World War to bring to the end the Second World War. This is where we have to maintain our value system so that whatever innovations and growth we do for the benefit of the humanity at large, for the benefit of our own people, for the benefit of the nation, so that we can grow in general. The purpose of technology is to make our life easy, not difficult, is to overcome all the challenges in the day-to-day living, and to promote growth amongst the masses. And one more thing, apart from the value system, the growth should be inclusive. When we are talking about inclusive growth, we have huge class differences. We have a lot of underprivileged people. So we would really love to see, technologies which can make a difference to the people at the ground level. That is, it is not only about inventing, but bringing something at the affordable rates, where a common man, where a person who has very meager resources of income can afford it and benefit it. We create big things that go to rich households and make their life easier, while the poor man, the predominant majority, it remains as it is. Then we cannot say that the benefits of any kind of innovation and growth have been inclusive. So our objectives, apart from being bright and progressive, should also be to make our growth, make our innovations more inclusive and more affordable. Because that's all I have to say. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. It's a great thing which the institute has organized with all the students from various institutions, to give you an opportunity to showcase your talents, to think about things. You live your whole life until you die. So don't think that there is a particular age to invent and grow. You grow and invent at any time, wherever you want to in your stages of life. So even if you fail today, there is always tomorrow, there is always time, and there is always somebody who is looking forward to your inventions, your contributions, which can benefit them. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.